It's been a momentous week in Westminster, with Prime Minister Theresa May suffering the biggest political defeat in the Commons in modern history, and then winning a no-confidence vote in the intervening hours. Joining me now is lawyer Nick Dixey to discuss the week that was at Westminster. And Nick, what a week it was.
Well, thanks very much for inviting me, Caroline. It's been an extraordinary week, and I say this every time people speak to me about this, but it just gets more and more unbelievable what's happening. So we've had a week where just before Christmas, the Conservatives had an internal vote of confidence, and over 100 MPs voted against Theresa May, but she hung on to her job. And then after Christmas, we have the withdrawal agreement vote. That is defeated by a historic margin, well over 230 votes against a government bill, her flagship bill that she's been working on for 2 years, and then quite understandably, quick Commons confidence vote follows that. But then everyone goes old school at that point, back to your own party, and everyone lines up behind the Prime Minister, and she scrapes through that, and she's still with us. She's
still with us, but we just pop back to Tuesday, first of all, with that historic vote that's sort of the biggest margin loss in modern history. What was it about her draft agreement that was so unpalatable to MPs across the aisle?
Well, it's very, very difficult, because on the one hand, you've got hard Brexiteers who are part of the Conservative Party, a part of the European Research Group, they call themselves, and they felt that this deal was a terrible deal for Britain because there was no real escape from what we call the backstop. If no trade deal could be reached during the implementation period, during the 2 years, then there was a danger that Britain could be stuck in because people wouldn't allow us to leave and make our own way until we had actually come to an agreement with them on their terms. So the right-wingers didn't like it for that reason. But on the other side, you've got Remainers and soft Brexiteers who didn't like it either because it destroyed the dream of a second referendum, and also it didn't have a clause about a custom unions, which would be the only way for really frictionless trade. And so you had people on both sides of the argument hating this deal. And when the deal was voted down by that historic margin outside Parliament, protesters on opposite side of this argument, diametrically opposed, were all cheering. And that's the problem she's got. She's trying to bring people together, but this is such a divisive issue, that seems impossible.
So it's close of play on Friday. She's still in charge at the moment. What are her options next? Is the only thing she's really got in her arsenal as to go back and hammer out that deal and find some way of getting people to compromise on it?
It's all about trying to look at parliamentary arithmetic and trying to find something that people could actually get through Parliament. She's got to come back on Monday, on the 21st, with a plan B. It seems to me that when you look at the arithmetic, there probably isn't enough there for another referendum. There may not be enough there for what we call a hard Brexit, where there isn't a customs union, but there may just be enough if the sands shift for a customs union Norway-style Brexit, which will really upset a lot of hard Brexiteers. And to be frank, it's not clear that could make it through either, but that's perhaps the direction of travel at the moment.
She sounds like she's got a lot of work on her plate coming up. Nick, thank you very much for joining me this evening. Stay with us. Taylor and Kevin will be back just after this break.